Hi, T.O.T. Carlson here, and today we're paying a visit to my favorite of Gerry Anderson's Supermarionation shows, Fireball XL5. Gerry Anderson is best known for the series Thunderbirds, but this black and white series came a few years earlier. My father actually watched this when he was a child and introduced me to it, and I've sort of been hooked ever since. So when I heard Network in England was doing remastered Blu-ray releases, I knew I needed to get my hands on it. There is a standalone 4-disc release of the series on Blu-ray that doesn't have bonus features, but then there's also a more elaborate box set. Today we're going to take a look at both. So first of all, here is the standalone 4-disc set. I do like that artwork there with Dr. Venus and Steve Zodiac. There's our spine text, back of the cover with a description of the show. Inside here we have a nice episode guide. Yeah, disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4. There's some notes on the remastering. I will read these just so you have an idea of what we're getting into. Fireball XL5 has been scanned at 4K resolution from 35mm black and white fine-grained masters in its broadcast TV ratio of 1.33 to 1 or 4:3 for this new Blu-ray release. Although some image restoration work was carried out, the pictures still display many faults including dirt, scratches, density fluctuation, film movement, light drops, and missing frames amongst other issues. And I'll read the description of the show as follows. Okay, Venus. Okay, Steve. Right. Let's go. Gerry and Sylvia Anderson's much-loved Supermarionation series has been remastered in high definition from original 35mm film elements for this Blu-ray edition. The year is 2062, and World Space Patrol ship Fireball XL5 is assigned to Sector 25, where intrepid pilot Steve Zodiac, ably assisted by Dr. Venus and Professor Matthew Maddock, faces such dangers as planetomic missiles, explosive gas clouds, space spies, and alien races both warlike and benign. Character voices for the show include David Graham, Sylvia Anderson, Paul Maxwell, John Bluthal, and Gerry Anderson. So this is, again, the standalone set that doesn't include any bonus features, but now we're going to take a look at the more elaborate box set. And this one includes a 5th disc of bonus features in addition to all the swag we're going to take a look at in a second. Got that nice big cover art there with the XL5 logo on it. The sides are just plain, although they do have a Starfield background, which again suits the theme of the series. Here's the back cover, which has our content notes and copyright information. Here's the region code. Now, again, these discs are supposedly locked to Region B, but I have read reports of them working in American players, so before we progress any further with this review, let's test out the discs. Okay, we're going to try these discs out and just make sure they work okay in the player. Here's disc 1, which of course has Steve Zodiac on it. Warning, this disc will only play in Region B, but if we just wait a few seconds, this should fade away and play fine, because that's how it worked on the earlier Supercar release. Okay, and here we are is our menu screen. I'll just hit play to make sure this works okay. Everything seems to be working fine, so we'll try disc 2 now. Here is disc 2, which of course features Dr. Venus. And here we get our Region B notice once again, so we'll just wait a few seconds, make sure this loads up okay. And there we are on the home screen. Disc 2 appears to work just fine. So now we will try disc 3, which of course has Professor Matthew Maddock on it. And same deal as before here, we have our Region B locked notice, so we'll just wait to make sure that fades away like normal. And there we go, disc 3 works fine. We now have disc 4, which of course has Zuni the Lazoon on it. Although oddly, disc 4 in the standalone set actually has Robert the Robot on it, whereas he's pushed back to disc 5 for the box set version. Okay, and once again, the same message, so we'll just wait a few seconds. There we are. Now for the 5th and final disc, which features Robert the Robot. So here we get the same error message, which again is to be expected. This one starts fading out, but then this one fades back in. It doesn't go away. This happened on one of our supercar discs, and we hit the top menu button and it worked okay. So let's try hitting the top menu button on the remote this time around. And that takes us to the menu screen. So every disc here works fine. Let's go ahead and open up the box now. Okay. Inside the box, we have this scrapbook box, which contains the bulk of the swag. So we'll pop that open in a second. We get a pair of astronaut wings. I guess that's what that's supposed to be. And those have a clip-on thing on the back. Here we have the Blu-ray set that's in here. I actually prefer the art on the standalone set a little more than this. This is a little more plain. But then, like I said, this set has the 5th disc, which has all those bonus features that are very nice. And then, once again, you have an episode guide over here. I showed off the discs already, so I won't get too into those. Underneath disc 5, you have descriptions of the bonus features. Now let's get into that box of swag and see what this set offers. I do like this artwork here. That's very nice, very vintage. There's the spine of that. Top, bottom, side. And this has a tab that flips open. And there is a lot of stuff in here. You can see the packaging here. It actually has like prints of the comic books and art cards and things like that. And the bulk of the stuff here is in the middle. Underneath you have like the Century 21 TV magazines and the artwork there. Very vintage stuff. Very nice looking. Here we have a nice, production lithograph of most of our central cast together. There's the back cover. Even got reproductions of the stamps and production notes. There's a punch-out paper model of Fireball XL5. For collector's purposes, I'm probably not going to build that, but that does look very nice. You even get your own World Space Patrol astronaut license. And then the back there's got the verification and even a signature from Commander Zero. There's a comic here, which is actually produced from images from the TV show, so that's pretty cool right there. And this is printed on a very vintage-feeling paper, so I like the way that looks. There's also a coloring book. And you fold this out, and you got like sort of a color by numbers thing. Got like most of the major characters there. I really like the way that looks. Here we have reproduction of the candy cigarette cards that were included back in the day. And on the back, you even have reproductions of the backs of the cards with descriptions. And we aren't even done yet. Got a few more goodies in this little box in here too. We even get a CD audio adventure. This is like reproduced in the style of how records looked back then. That's pretty cool. Of course, it doesn't have the original cast because this is like a newer recording, but I appreciate that they went the extra mile and put something like that in here. And then we have, back in the day they sold like, 8mm home movie versions of the show, and so this is a reproduction of what the art from those looked like. As you can see, there is a ton of stuff in this box set. I don't think fans will be disappointed. So how is the show itself? If you've never seen it, of course, The show revolves around the spaceship Fireball XL5 going on patrol throughout the galaxy, often to scout around and to participate in rescue missions. Steve Zodiac, who commands the ship, is assisted by Dr. Venus, Professor Matthew Maddock, and Robert the Robot. Back on Earth, of course, they have the support of Commander Zero, his assistant Lieutenant 90. Other characters on the show include Zero's seldom-seen family, including his wife and son. And then you also have Jock, the Scottish engineer, who occasionally comes along on missions, and Zuni, the Lazoon, from a mysterious alien species who can only speak by mimicking what he hears, and his vocabulary is pretty limited. He almost kind of seems like the proto-Jar Jar Binks in a way. But you do get to see the crew travel to various worlds, and there's all kinds of threats around every corner, including space monsters, the subterraneans, the space spies Boris and Griselda, the Aquamphibians, the Lillispatians. There's just all kinds of alien races, and you really have to admire Gerry Anderson and his company for all the production efforts they put into this show. One of the production assistants on this show, who went on to work on some other series for Gerry Anderson, was Derek Meddings. He'd later go on to work on both the James Bond and the Superman series, so an amazingly talented crew here. And of course you have the infectious closing song, Fireball, that plays over the credits, sung by Don Spencer. Spencer's daughter was actually married to Russell Crowe for a while, so that makes him, at one point in time anyway, Russell Crowe's father-in-law. Everything in this series just comes together fantastically. The music's great, the production's great, the voice actors are great. I mean, it's very much dated and a product of its era, but personally I think that just adds to the charms. I mean, that you could do this with puppets long before CG was a thing, it really speaks for itself. This is a fantastic show, and it's definitely great to revisit. I'm happy to say that this Blu-ray release from Network, remastered, looks absolutely fantastic. They did a great job remastering this show. The old DVD version actually wasn't half bad looking, but this is the next level. If you're a fan of Fireball XL5 and you want the show to look the absolute best it ever has, these releases will not let you down. While I wouldn't say they're quite perfect, they're certainly pretty close. And again, Disc 5, that's only available in the bigger box, includes several bonus features. I'll read some of the stuff that's in here from the package. Exclusive limited edition deluxe packaging, brand new Fire XL5 comic from Martin Carter, brand new Fireball XL5 scrapbook, Fireball XL5 WSP astronaut license and badge, Cloud of a Billion Lights, brand new Fireball XL5 CD mini LP audio adventure, Sylvia Anderson in her own words, previously unseen interview, Robots in Distress, brand new Robert the Robot animation, Century 21 Tech Talk, Fireball XL5, animated briefing hosted by Thunderbird's Brains and Professor Maddock, Fireball XL5 home movie show, Walton 8mm cutdowns, a Wonderland of Stardust documentary, Drawn in Supermarionation documentary, A Day in the Life of a Space General colorized version, French titles, Zoom Ice Lolly adverts, VHS trailer, and an image gallery. If you're a fan of Fireball XL5 and you pick up this box, you're going to be busy for a while, and I do mean that in the best of ways. This is one of my personal favorite television series of all time, and I'm glad to see that Network has done this and many other Gerry Anderson series justice. This is everything you could want if you're a fan. Even if you're curious and you're a newbie to this series, it's certainly worth checking out. And if you don't want to spend all the money for the big box with swag and the extra disc, you do also have that standalone disc as an option that'll probably only cost you about half as much. And again, even though they're marked as Region B locked, those Region B lock notices disappear from the screen, and they play just fine in your American players, so you can go ahead and import this without any reservations. Are you a fan of Fireball XL5? Is this one of your favorite shows of all time? Do you think it's Gerry Anderson's best Supermarionation show? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.